So I read the One Punch Man webcomic. I'd already read the manga, so the webcomic to me was more of a supplement to the One Punch Man manga. The webcomic is the original medium that the One Punch Man story was created in, and this webcomic was then later adapted into the manga and then the anime. While I was reading the webcomic, I noticed many differences between the webcomic and the manga. I'll briefly talk about the art, and then move into the content differences. Early on in the One Punch Man webcomic, the art style is very rough. Whilst I wouldn't say this art style is visually appealing, the art style does however work to support the humor very well. I consistently found that some of the jokes that were present in the manga and the webcomic were more funny in the webcomic due to the art style. However, I do think that one comes into his own as author later in the series because the art style does improve quite a bit later in the chapters. Despite this improvement, the manga art style is definitely superior. I mean, just look at this detail. The manga art done by Murata is on a completely different level. It's insane. It's hard to compete against some of the best art in the entire manga industry. Now, moving on to the more content-based differences between the webcomic and the manga. So the manga has followed the general format of the webcomic. But in the most recent chapters, there have been a lot of changes in the manga versus the webcomic. Honestly, a lot for the better. Not that the webcomic wasn't enjoyable, but the manga elevated the series quite a bit in my opinion. In both adding new, cooler characters, thereby building the world a little more, and the incredible art of the manga by Murata. Whilst I do prefer the manga as an overall experience, the webcomic was a great supplement if you wish to experience more of the One Punch Man story, world, and want to get a peek into the future of the manga and anime. And for me, ever since I caught up to the webcomic, it's been interesting to see the changes or additions that the manga has made. A small addition, but one that I appreciated, is the addition of Glasses in the manga. Glasses is a former member of the Blizzard Group, and one day the Blizzard Group fought a monster beyond their ability, and they were getting annihilated until they were saved by Saitama. Glasses asked him how he was able to get that strong, and Saitama gave his regular blank-faced 100 squats, 100 push-ups answer, but what was unique about the situation is how Glasses was actually inspired by Saitama. Glasses had always wanted to become a true hero, and when he met Saitama and Saitama said those words, he had an epiphany and became the only person in the entire story that actually took Saitama's words to heart and strived to become like Saitama, a true hero. Arguably more than Genos tried in that sense, since we actually meet Glasses a little later in the series when he and a couple of other heroes fought against Garo, and Glasses shows off the results of his training thus far, which put his stamina as a match to early Garo. Garo even thinks to himself that Glasses was the most troublesome of the bunch. One of the other notable additions to the manga that stands out to me, and that is the character of Suiryu. Suiryu was a martial arts master introduced in the manga during the martial arts tournament in the Monster Association arc. He was pretty overconfident and haughty in the beginning, but by the end of his current story arc in the manga, which I won't spoil, he's really turned his character around for me. But nonetheless, after his introduction in the manga, the webcomic did something that I've never seen before, which is that the webcomic took inspiration from the manga and introduced Suiryu as a new character in a much later story arc than where he was introduced at in the manga. That is the equivalent to parents actually heeding the advice of their children. It's such a unique decision, and the implications it will have on the story of the manga and the anime are really interesting. I'm going to get into some slight spoilers about Suiryu in the webcomic, and what I believe will be the future for Suiryu in the manga. Suiryu ended his current arc in the manga appreciating heroes and their role in the hero society. So when the manga gets to the point of the introduction of the Neo heroes, it won't be too hard to explain how he might have come to becoming a Neo hero leader. But what will change is the conversations he will have with some of the main characters like Saitama. In one of the most recent chapters, Suiryu met and spoke to Saitama for the first time in the webcomic. When this scene happens in the manga, it'll be when Saitama has already saved Suiryu's life and has technically known him for months. That all being said, I'm very interested in the direction the manga will take when adapting the material introduced in the webcomic, and I look forward to reading the chapters of the manga and the webcomic as their story unfolds. Thank you for watching.